Another guard. This place is full of them. I cannot risk a confrontation. He'll see me coming, and I'll lose the element of surprise. I'll need to find a way to trap him. They must have exhibited those poor wretches in these cages and presented them as being dangerous. Bearded lady. This large, empty aquarium held the fair's main attraction. The mermaid, Poseidon's daughter. I suppose it was on this small stage that the monsters were presented to the public. Ah, here's something interesting. Hans's diary. What a dreadful diary. That Hans is the only real monster ever to have frequented this attraction. Chemistry material. The bearded lady kept the key to this exhibition. Interesting. I wonder what this machinery is used for. A rail system is fixed to the ceiling, and a hook is hanging from it. It must be used for moving heavy and bulky objects. There is something interesting here. Here's what I've been looking for. This cage is still occupied, not by one of the monsters, but by a poor man. He's still alive, but he's barely human now. Moriarty must have tested his poison on this poor fellow. If he was freed, he would leap at the throat of the first person he saw. The crank is in place. The hook is above the cage of this poor wretch. There, the rope is in place. This way I can open the poor fellow's cage from the outside without taking any risks. The trap is in place. Now I only need to get the guard to go inside the freak show. Chemistry material. Chemistry material. Chemistry material. People must have been locked up in here, and they are certain to have been mistreated. The guard must have been warned. I need to get out of here. The guard is inside. I must close the door quickly. Closed. I must find a way of neutralizing the guard inside. I can't do that. Well, I'll be leaving you. I'm sure you have a great many things to do. But what have we got here?
Ah, there you are, Holmes. Did you have any problems?
None, apart from a few small things. What have you found out about this warehouse?
Prince Woodville's soup is loaded and contaminated by hands.
And in the direction of Whitechapel. Watson, in a few hours, Moriarty will have at his disposal a formidable army, more powerful and more terrible than anything that has ever existed.
But what?
The soup is destined for a poverty-stricken, starving population who have been conditioned for months against the ruling powers. Moriarty won't have any trouble in sending thousands of raving mad people to ravage the city, sowing death and destruction. No force would be able to resist them, not the police, not even the army. A perfect army, knowing neither fear nor pity. A tidal wave of humanity which will cover London and will fall away again, leaving a city of desolation behind it.
What horror! And the chaos will only make Moriarty's coup d'etat even easier. But how will he guard himself against this bloodthirsty crowd?
The chaos will only last for the time he needs.
You mean to say?
That these poor wretches will all die. 48 hours after ingesting the soup, according to our good Dr. Shielman. So the victims will be joined by their executioners. An immense mass murder. What Moriarty would call clearing up after work, no doubt. Good. Have you found a way of stopping Hans's process?
Yes, I think so. If we can weaken the reservoir's feet with the explosives, for example, it will collapse and take the building down with it.
Good work.
What are you looking at?
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Never. These caravans must be inhabited. Look, there is smoke coming out of one of them. Look, Holmes, the 3 Russian brothers.
with a coal stove and dynamite.
What should we do next, Holmes?
And then the dynamite would be very useful for blowing up the tank.
Good idea. But in order that we can get it, we'll have to get them out of there without their knowing we are here. The best thing to do is to carry on exploring this place, Holmes.
An international anarchist's manifesto written in several languages. A metal plate, very solid. There is no one here, and nothing very interesting. This ladder is only held back by a bolt. It is the chimney pipe. It has been cut. Interesting.
Holmes, our priority now is to blow up the tank in the factory to stop the distribution of the soup.
Effectively.
This place must have been magnificent.
Shh. Watson, look. On the stage. Prince Woodville.
And it is with an immense pride that I take possession of the attributes of the crown, and swear in front of you to serve my people with... Gentlemen, who are you? I don't believe I know you.
Not as yet, Your Royal Highness, but I am overjoyed that you are familiar with the crowning ceremony.
Of course. A good king should know it.
That makes my duty so very much easier. Let me introduce myself. My name is Howard Sawbury, and I am in charge of the aforementioned protocol and the master of ceremonial events at Buckingham Palace.
Yes, and I'm Sir John Cannard, in charge of the peacocks in the royal gardens.
Congratulations, Sir John. Excellent imagination.
I am pleased to meet you, gentlemen, but what brings you here?
Do you mean to say that no one has informed you? Have you not been in the city? It is Queen Victoria, of course. She has been dethroned.
Really? So soon? According to my special advisor, Professor Moriarty, that should not take place until a few days from now.
The people have decided otherwise, sir, and now they're calling for their new sovereign, the benevolent, most understanding Prince Woodville.
Ah, gentlemen, you bring me great news. My good people have carried out their duty. I can finally take my rightful place, and happily before the bombs detonated.
Actually, sir, we're here to warn you that you are in grave danger.
What do you mean?
Among your close advisers, I regret there are traitors who are already plotting against you. We have reliable information that these terrorists are part of an international anarchist network, and...
Ah, gentlemen, I know who you are talking about. I'm sure you mean the strange gentleman employed by Professor Moriarty. Asians or,
Russians, sir.
Whatever. These men must be stopped before their bombs explode.
Their bombs?
Yes, Sir John. Bombs placed all over London. I was not at all fond of the idea, but Professor Moriarty was quite adamant.
Do you know where these bombs are precisely?
Of course not. But I do know that those anarchists created their exploding devices here.
You must tell us everything that you know about the bombs, sir.
Why should I? You're not a pyrotechnist, are you? I must speak urgently with Professor Moriarty.
Sir, these men, the Russian anarchists, I heard them plotting against you. They want to blow up the theatre, and you with it.
That is madness. Why would they do that?
Tell us everything that you know about the bombs, for we must defuse the one that is hidden here.
I have not moved from here since I arrived, and no one apart from you has entered the theatre. You are lying, or you are their accomplices.
We most certainly are not.
That is enough. Leave me.
Sir, we're afraid that the beginning of your reign will be scarred by tragedy.
Whatever do you mean?
I think, however, that it is vital we arrest these terrorists. Tell me where their workshop is, I beg of you, in the name of the British Empire.
In a wooden stall between two tents, next to the Russian caravans.
Very well, we're going to search.
Wait, I demand an explanation. If everyone is plotting against me, how do I know that you are not also party to the plot?
But we...
Bring me Professor Moriarty, Mr. Sawbury, without delay. Sir John will remain here with me.
I should be able to remove the prince without endangering Watson's life.
There you are, Sir John. To be a king means also to be prudent, and that is why I prefer to have you here as reserve. You are my guarantee.
I understand, sir, but in return you must understand that this places me in a somewhat disagreeable situation.
Yes, I understand, but the reasons of the state
Are unfathomable, I know, and I came here to render you a service.
Come now, let us be serious for one moment. What could a peacock trainer possibly do for me?
There is a label underneath this lever. Magician's Trap Door, middle of the stage. Exactly where the prince is standing. I can't do that.
During your crowning ceremony.
Do you really think so?
I truly
These
do.
tangled ropes are holding back the curtains. He's not moving. He appears to have passed out.
But he could come around at any moment and sound the alarm.
Yes, before leaving the theatre, we must make certain that that does not happen.
Not so long ago, those words coming from you would have frozen my blood.
Rest assured, my friend, that Sherlock Holmes no longer exists. Get rid of him now. Hey, presto, it's magic. No more paranoid prince.
Well done, Holmes. Look, Holmes, Prince Woodville lost his ring during the fight.
There is an enormous diamond in the middle of this ring. I will give it to the police later.
What were these dummies at the front of the stage used for?
The prince put them there to represent his public. This magician has a leather belt, very solid. There is a small bag attached to it. The illusionist's smoke powder. Abracadabra! Magic powder and a metal plate. The revolutionaries won't resist it. Hide, Watson.
Water! Water!
The way is clear. Quick, let's shut the three brothers up in the washroom. Perfect.
I can hear the chinking of a bottle and talk in Russian. The three brothers are quietly getting drunk. Perfect. We must hurry, Holmes. Each chime tells us that the preparation of the poisoned soup is advancing.
I'm coming, Watson. I just need to unblock the chimney.
This caravan is as disgusting as the first one.
A Russian-English dictionary.
Wire.
This piece of art shows the hatred the anarchists feel towards Prince Woodville and everything he represents. The names of the targets are written in Russian and are unreadable, in my case, that is, and apparently the brothers have made notes before every name. This list has something to do with the dictionary open on the table. A small saw. We might need this. The dynamite shells are empty. A pity. Let's see. That's not right. If these bombs explode, then I believe that the realm will be plunged into one of the gravest crises in its history.
What are you going to do with this information, Holmes?
Hand it across to Inspector Lestrade.
How?
By telephoning him. The haunted house is connected to the telephone exchange. I'm going to try to slip in there discreetly.
Shall I accompany you?
You can help me to get in, but while I search for the telephone, you should collect as much information as you can about the bombs. The explosive experts at Scotland Yard will need it.
Understood.